after much petitioning, most recently by the group Women on 20s, the Treasury has finally announced that they will be featuring a woman on a bill. Apparently the 20 was too much, so they're going to be putting a woman on the $10 bill to replace Andrew Hamilton, and it'll be the first time in 100 years that a woman will be on paper money. Now, the bill will have new security features to make it harder to counterfeit and will be unveiled in 2020, the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment giving women the right to vote. Now, Treasury Secretary Jacob J is asking the public for suggestions on who should be chosen for the bill, as well as what symbols of democracy it should feature. You might be wondering what's going to happen to Alexander Hamilton. Well, Liu said that Hamilton, the nation's first Treasury Secretary, would still be honored in some way. He said one possibility being considered would keep Hamilton's portrait on some of the redesigned $10 bills. So that's kind of interesting. They're going to do half and half.
It's such an Obama move. Okay, on the upside, it's an Obama move in the sense that he's celebrating women, and he's done a lot of great things for women, put 2 women on the Supreme Court, which is a huge deal, etc. On the other hand, it's also a classic Obama move in, the 20 is a bit much. Let's go for the 10. Let's split the loaf in half, right?
Baby steps.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Bill Murray sketch from SNL way back in the day. I cannot lift that rock. I can lift a smaller rock. Okay, so, and then, well, the whole 10, I mean, people might criticize us if we take Hamilton off. Let's keep Hamilton a little bit and put women on some of the 10. Just do it. Just for God's sake, say, okay, we're putting $10 bill. That's it. It's women. Over. End of this. Alexander, you had a nice run. Okay. Thank you for your service to the country and for the $10 bill. Let's move forward. But overall, it's positive. Isn't it amazing that they're going to do this in 2020 as a celebration of the 100-year anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which gave the right to vote to women? It hasn't even been 100 years that women have had the right to vote in this country. Isn't that amazing?
And look how much damage they've already done.
I denounced and rejected.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind the idea of split. First, no, I don't really want them to split it. Nor do I think they're going to split it. I think that that's just cover to get people off their ass right now. They're gonna put probably. Well, we're going to guess who might go on there, but they're going to do that. But honestly, at least if they did put multiple people on one bill, then we wouldn't have to fight so much every time we want to get some new notable American on there. If there were 30 different versions of the 20, we could have Bill Nye and all sorts of local politicians and historical figures and astronauts and stuff like that. And that would be kind of awesome. Why should... It's not the 18th century anymore. We're not using dumb machines. Like, we can use computers to put all sorts of different people on the money. The money is much more interesting in a lot of countries around you travel all over the place, Hannah. Money in other countries is way more interesting than
ours. I think you make a really great point, because then it gives it some, lure. Because remember the quarters when they did the different states and stuff like that? Maybe it could be different people, on different. I think that's a great idea.
Well, here's things I've already enjoyed in this story. Hannah's hand motion for a lure. It could be a lure. Okay, whatever that is. Okay, okay, that does look.
I'm not telling what that is.
Okay, number 2, I like John's idea of putting random Americans on the money and then later regretting it. Like, hey, we put Bill Cosby on. Oh no. Okay, Joe Paterno. Oh no. Okay, so we might want to be a little bit careful about that.
Yeah. The money might be worth more later if it turns like, oh God, I still have a Cosby 20, collector's edition or something.
It would indeed be a collector's edition.
Oh, my John Edwards 100. I'm never going to be able to spend you.
That's really funny. So Women on 20s did a poll when they wanted to see who was going to put, and Harriet Tubman actually won this poll. But we did our own poll on the TYT app. So if you guys want to be in on the conversation, you guys should head over to the TYT app. If you don't already have it, download it. So we said, which of these historical women would you like to see on the currency? Sandra Day O'Connor and Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman won 91%.
So far, the voting has just begun. The fight has yet begun. I'm pulling for Sandra Day O'Connor. So let's. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to vote Harriet Tubman, but still. But I'm proposing Sandra Day O'Connor. So let's go through our proposals. I have mine. Okay. Now the reason I'm proposing Sandra Day O'Connor is, one, she was the first female Supreme Court justice. That's a huge deal, right? Number 2, she's a Republican, so we won't get much of a fight, I think.
Yeah.
Number 3, she's actually eminently reasonable. There's a lot of things that I disagreed with her on, including saying, let's wrap up Bush Gore. Bush is the president, let's move on. So that's a huge blight on our record, as well as many other things, right? But on the other hand, she was a voice of reason in a court, even though she was up from the conservative side for a long, long time. When she left, after she left the court, it spun out of control in the right-wing direction. And she said to the point where, hey, listen, if this right-wing drive against the courts and otherwise continues, she said, we're not at a dictatorship, but we should avoid those beginnings so we can avoid those endings. It's one of my favorite quotes in politics. So I think that's a real possibility. So I propose Sandra Day O'Connor, okay? And, although she's getting trounced by Harry Tubman at this point. My second proposal is this lady, Barbara Bush.
That's awful.
What?
Man.
Am I not merciful? I'm a progressive that proposed 2 Republican women.
I think she did her hair differently.
A little bit, maybe.
That's you're the
At least
worst.
a woman's on a bill.
Yeah, I think that it should be Tubman. I think that it's going to be Tubman. I think it's hard to make the case against her, but I think I like Tubman because she's a political figure, but not a politician necessarily. She's an activist, and I would also like to do some people who are not directly tied into politics at all. So I was proposing Amelia Earhart. I think that she would be interesting. First transatlantic flight by anyone, man or woman. But you could do like a female astronaut, something like that. Something inspiring outside of politics directly. Because money is not just about politics. It's about our life, everything that we do. Money doesn't have to just have presidents and stuff like that on it.
But if you put Amelia Earhart on the 10, you're always going to lose that money.
That's probably.
Is it too soon for that? It's not too soon for an Amelia Earhart.
I think, yeah, you'll be fine with that.
All right, my choices are Eleanor Roosevelt, because she did a lot for civil rights, human rights, women's rights. Plus, she basically ran the country when FDR had polio and all that stuff. And then my second choice is Queen Bey, Beyonce.
She's outside of politics, Johnny.
She
you should
is,
agree.
yeah. She does a lot, but she does a lot for
she's a
women's
queen.
rights. She is a queen already, so
Right.
it only makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's done a lot for music. She does a lot for women's rights. Plus, she's a boss. So,
That is true.
which me and JR have a disagreement on the terms you're allowed to use, boss versus bossy. She says, "I'm not bossy. I'm a boss."
Okay, well,
Agreed. Agreed. And-
Okay, so can I criticize not this plan, but there's people that I want to criticize here.
Oh, we love criticism. Go forward.
Greta Van Susteren tweeted why in regard to this. She's like pissed at the very concept that a mere woman would ever be on a bill. Maybe Greta Van Susteren's part of like the Alexander Hamilton fan club or something. She just can't see her man being pulled down. But that's ridiculous that she's so blind to why this is necessary. Charles V. Payne, well, I'll get to him in just a second, because he believed that the 20 was actually being replaced. So he doesn't even do his research. So he said, this is Obama, another step in the path for social justice from Obama, making up for the Trail of Tears. Why are you joking about the fucking Trail of Tears, man? It's one of the darkest moments in American history. Maybe we should try to make up for it a little bit. And by the way, Andrew Jackson, who is not being replaced by a woman, it's Alexander Hamilton. Andrew Jackson, fuck Andrew Jackson. He should be taken off of the fucking 20. I wish that they could take him off of the 20. He's one of the worst racists in the history of mankind. And by the way, Charles V. Payne, he apparently owned over 140 slaves when he died. Why are you defending this man?
Charles Payne, if you don't know, is an African-American who's at Fox House.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's a jackass on Fox.
Yes. And so the idea that the guy who caused the deaths of thousands of Native Americans did it on purpose should be celebrated.
Gladly, happily
Yeah,
killed the Indians.
Yeah, and thought they had it coming, right? They're like, how dare you not celebrate him?
Fuck him.
And, you know, so, and then the idea that, like, what outrageous to want to celebrate one woman in this country, right? Greta Van Susteren asks why. Why not? What's wrong with celebrating one woman in American history?
Yeah.
Everything else is men. All the coins, I mean, I know we got Sacagawea on, like, the metal coins that no
Pocahontas at
one
one point.
uses, okay? Susan B. Anthony on coins that no one uses,
Right.
right? I know that, but one woman on a paper currency when it's all men, too much to ask.
Yeah.
Too much to ask.
And by the way, really fast, I'm sorry, but I love to be able to do this because the right-wingers are going to attack this. This is just so stupid. Why do you have to force putting women on there? Israel has women on their money. I thought you loved everything about the country. Don't you want us to be a little bit closer to them by doing this? And by the way, like they would say that this is, it must be just the Scandinavian countries. Some crazy libs are putting women on their money. No, Syria has women on their money. The Philippines, Turkey, Mexico, Argentina, New Zealand, England, Sweden, Australia. Like we're being left behind in something as commonplace as the people that we put our money. I think that it's time we catch up just a little bit.
But I mean, that's not fair. Turkey's a Muslim country, obviously far more open to women than we are.
Syria as well.
Yeah.
It's a progressive domain.
By the way, Turkey has had a female prime minister, as has Israel, but United States of America still no. But you know what? We also have very strong female political leaders. We have in our history, to be fair to us, right? We've had many Secretary of States who are women. So Madeleine Albright, Condoleezza Rice, Hillary Clinton. So maybe we should put one of them on the 10. I mean, I'm sure the Republicans won't mind if we put Hillary Clinton on the 10, right?
Right, totally.
Benghazi.